Hi folks, I'm Doug at Dizzy Lizzie's, and on every piece of machinery, whether it's a chainsaw, disc cutter, lawnmower, hedge trimmer, strimmer, whatever it is, unless it's got an electric start, has a pull mech. How do they work? Let's look into it. Now these are some of the type of pull mechs I work on. Most of them look like this. Yeah, these are for lawnmowers or a generator or something like that. They're fairly large, and when you pull them out, two tangs come out or one tang comes out, engages onto a mechanism which grips hold of the engine so the engine can be turned over, and they all return because there's a spring underneath. You can get repair kits for them. So there's a little washer, a metal clip and a tang, and you can buy repair kits for when they wear out. If springs break, you can buy the springs from the repair. I've got them in all sorts of different ways. They're all held down by a piece of metal, or they come in a plastic holder, because when they are loose, they're this size, and that was originally about that size. Yeah, because when they get wound up, when you're pulling the pull mech, they get wound up, and that gives the pull mech the ability to return this cord. So let's actually take one of these apart to see how it works. Now this is off a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engine, and what happens is when you pull it out, pull the cord out, you see these two tangs come out, grab onto the flywheel, and then when you let go of it, they're pulled back in. And the reason for it is this piece here stays stationary. If I move it, you can see the tangs are coming out. And the reason why it's able to do that, there's a spring underneath of it, and quite often somebody's taken one of these apart, puts it back together again, forgets about this little spring, and wonders why the pull start doesn't work. And I'll demonstrate it now. You see, that comes out. Now this is a left-handed thread, so it's a Righty Tighty, Lefty Loosey. And there's this little spring here. Nothing much you think about it? Okay. Put this back in. See what happens now. Because this little spring is not pushing on there, it's not giving it inertia or friction to stop that from actually turning. And this piece quite happily turns around with the rest of the flywheel, and the tangs don't come out. Prove it again. Push it in. Put it over. Tighten it up. Make sure that's in the right place. And then, hey presto, out come the tangs, in go the tangs. So that's one thing you've got to remember, is the little screw. Let's take it further apart. Okay, this is another pull mech. It's brand new, but it still works exactly the same as the other one did. You pull it here, two metal tangs come out, you let it go in, but it's because of that little spring underneath there that holds that in place, which allows the tangs to be forced out. Now the first thing I ever do when I go to take one of these apart is de-stress the spring. Right? And all I'm doing is literally unwinding it. There, it's not under tension now. Now I can safely remove this. Now this one is right-handed, so you've got to find out which ones are left and right-handed. And there's the spring again underneath of it. So you've got the two little tangs, and to help return them in, there's a little metal spring underneath there as well. Can you see it? the little spring, and that actually helps the tangs return. Underneath here is a spring, and what happens is that fits around a centre section to grip onto, and when you pull the pull cord it tensions it up and when you let go of the pull cord or return it as gently as supposed to, it then pulls the cord back in. Otherwise it would be a case of like the old days where you had a notch, you had a bit of rope, you yanked it, and if it didn't start up you had to rewind it again. So anyway, putting this back together again, I've got to make sure the little lug there goes over a little lug in there. Can you see if that's grooved? With this one, there's other ways, but normally they have something like that. And what I normally also do is wind up the pull cord so it's easier to saves me having to try and fiddle with it later on. Now you've got to try and fit this over there, the little spring over that hook, and then as you flick it around quite often, you can see it's already gripped it. There it is. Now put the spring on, a little bolt, and you've got to make sure this part here is in the right place. Be careful when you tighten it up, because sometimes they don't set themselves in properly, or you might put that in the wrong way around, like I've just done. So it's my nose is starting to drip here and it's a bit hard to concentrate. But once that's done in, again, you pull it out and the tangs are in there. I give it a half a pull out so I can grip hold of this to give it an extra turn around, so when the handle gets in, it's returned. So anyway, that's how pull mechs work, but most of all, that little screw spring in there, if it's missing, it won't work. Take care. So I hope you now understand how a pull mech works. If you don't, just tell us and I'll try and make a better video. Take care folks, and see you next video. Bye.